Class 5 students. This is lesson number 4 from your poetry section, Out of the Morning by Emily Dickinson. Emily Elizabeth Dickinson was an American poet. She was born on 10 December 1830 at Amherst in Massachusetts in the United States. She was not well known during her lifetime, but she has since been regarded as one of the most important figures in American poetry. She lived much of her life in isolation, wore only white clothing, and was known for her reluctance to greet guests or later in life to even leave her bedroom. Dickinson never married, and most friendships between her and others depended entirely upon correspondence. Although Dickinson's acquaintances were most likely aware of her writing, it was not until after her death in 1886 when Lavinia, Dickinson's younger sister, discovered her cache of poems that her work became public. She died on 15th May 1886 at Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. She was 55 years old. A complete and mostly unaltered collection of her poetry became available for the first time when scholar Thomas H. Johnson published the poems of Emily Dickinson in 1955. Coming to our poem, Out of the Morning. In this poem, the speaker wonders whether morning and day are really places that exist somewhere. And if they are, what do they look like? Or where are they? The poem also explores the delightful world of a child's imagination. In the first stanza, will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as day? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Here, the poet asks whether there actually is a morning or if there is a day, as if these are some place or somebody you can just go and see or meet. She is looking for it and trying to find it. She further asks, would she be able to see it if she was as tall as the mountains? She kind of thinks that if you were tall and if you were as tall as the mountains, then perhaps maybe you can have a view of the morning wherever that was. Coming to your second stanza, has it feet like water lilies? Has it feathers like a bird? Is it brought from famous countries of which I have never heard? Here the poet asks if morning has feet like water lilies. Since water lilies have long stems that go deep into river beds, she's asking if morning could also have long feet like water lilies, or if it has feathers just like a bird, or if someone has brought it from famous countries that the poet has never heard of. So she's still looking for the morning, and she thinks that this thing called morning, does it have feathers like a bird, or does it have feet like water lilies, or has it been brought from other places that she has never heard of, maybe from some foreign countries? So she's thinking that it is something that can actually be seen. In the third stanza, oh, some scholar, or some sailor, or some wise man from the skies, please to tell us a little pilgrim where the place called morning lies. Here, the poet is calling out and asking scholars. First, asking scholars. Scholars are actually people who are highly educated. And she's also asking sailors. Sailors are basically people who work as a member of the crew of a ship or a boat. But here it rather means somebody who knows the sea or can guide people. So the poet is asking, because these scholars and sailors are bound to know a lot of things. So she's asking them to tell her where morning actually is. She also further asks the wise men from the skies. Wise men from the skies here means God. So the poet is asking God to kindly, please to tell a little pilgrim here, to kindly help a little pilgrim. A little pilgrim here means the poet. So the poet is asking God to help her and tell her where this place called morning lies. She calls herself pilgrim because just as pilgrims journey for their own personal reasons, she also considers herself to be on a journey to find this place called morning, and therefore may find freedom and happiness in it. So she is asking in this stanza the scholars, the sailors, and also God to tell her where this morning exactly is. That is your poem, Out of the Morning by Emily Dickinson. Home assignment, you have to give the meanings of the words given here in relation to the context. The first word is scholar, second is sailor, third, pilgrim, fourth, pleased to tell, and fifth, wise men. These are your home assignments. Kindly complete it in time and submit it to the school. Thank you.